Most people trying to shed that stubborn belly fat approach their cardio workouts all wrong. And it's because they fail to take into account all of the various metabolic adaptations that we experience as we lose weight and as we get in better condition. So this is how we're going to use cardio to strip up the most stubborn belly fat without throwing ourselves into that dreaded plateau that just won't budge. My name is Terrell and I'm one of the coaches here at Beyond 40, and I can tell you, when I walk into the gym, I can almost guarantee who I'm going to see on those cardio machines, because it is the same people day after day after day, and they're trying to lose the same 20, 30, 40 or more pounds. And I totally get it. This is exactly what we've been told. Hey, eat less, move more, problem solved. Hey, guess what? The problem's not solved, and we need to change that saying to eat right, move right. Now we'll be solving problems. But also there's people like me that just absolutely love cardio. So we tend to gravitate more towards those types of workouts because we love them. And hey, they're supposed to work, right? And in fact, I love cardio so much, I have recently signed up to do a race in a few months that is going to actually take me 6 hours just to complete the race. Well, I'm hoping for 6 hours. It could be a few more, but we're shooting for 6. Anyway, so there's a lot about cardio that we need to take into consideration before we start to do a lot of it, because cardio is very catabolic. That means it is not going to get you towards your goals unless you do it exactly right. So today I have a 4-step plan to help you get cardio to get you to your goals instead of stopping you from them. And I will tell you that number 4 is exactly what I do after I finish training for a big race like this to get my body back to normal and avoid metabolic slowdown and that post-race weight gain. A major limitation that we experience as we begin to lose weight and improve our fitness levels throughout the weeks and months of our diets is that our body begins to compensate by burning fewer and fewer calories throughout the day. This happens for 2 reasons. Number 1, you're consuming fewer calories, and your body is very dynamic. It is built for survival, so it cannot allow you to be in a calorie deficit week after week after week. So think about it like this. If you're in a 500 calorie deficit every day for a week, that's 7 days, 3,500 calories, according to the theory that 3,500 calories equals 1 pound of energy, you would lose 1 pound. In 10 weeks, you would lose 10 pounds. In 20 weeks, 20 pounds. In a year, you would lose 52 pounds. And in 2 years, you would lose 108 pounds. For me, I'm about a maintenance level of about 1,800 to 1,900 calories a day. That is where my weight stays exactly the same, and I can pretty much go through life and not worry about anything. So if I just cut that down to about 1,300 calories a day, and I kept that 1,300 calories a day, that would mean that in 2 years, I would weigh 20 pounds. Literally impossible. What that actually means is that within about a 6 to 8 week span, I now will only be burning 1,300 calories a day. So our body is super metabolically efficient. And if you think about it another way, if you got fired from your job and you've got a new job, but you were paid 10% less, you would adapt to the new spending by firing the housekeeper or going out to dinner less. And so that is exactly how our bodies treat it. It is very dynamic and it is built for survival, and it has to do it that way. But the second reason that our bodies burn fewer calories throughout the day is that we weigh less. And so it takes less energy just to move you around the planet. Okay, so there was a study done in 2010 that showed that calories burned during low intensity activity decreased by about 15% after subjects had lost about 10% of their body weight. This is due to the muscle efficiency increasing. And so there are tons of studies like this. When we become more fit and our muscle efficiency increases, that the calorie reduction that we burn every day during these low intensity activities decreases from about 11 to 20%, that's a lot of decrease. So this has a major implication on what is called NEAT. And NEAT stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis. And this includes things like light walking, cleaning, standing, fidgeting. These are like daily activities that aren't really considered exercise, but we burn a fair amount of calories doing them. And so NEAT levels, they vary anywhere from a couple of 100 calories a day to a couple of thousand calories a day, depending on your occupation and your activity level. For example, let's say a person begins a new diet and exercise program, and they are currently using or burning about 2,500 calories a day, and their job is as an office worker, so it's a desk job. So of that 2,500 calories, about 1,000 of those calories burned every day are due to meat. Now they're going to go ahead and they're going to lose a few pounds, they're going to start get healthy, they're going to start to become more fit, and now that 1,000 calories has actually been reduced by 150 calories a day because of your muscle efficiency, which actually reduces the amount of calories that you burn a day. Crazy, right? So now researchers believe that this is the reason that people that have lost a good amount of weight struggle to keep the weight off or struggle to continue to lose weight despite having the exact same cardio routine and the exact same nutrition plan. Now, you combine this with the fact that you weigh less now, so it takes less energy to move you around the planet, so that you're automatically burning less calories. And of course, your watch is still telling you you're burning the same amount of calories because your watch or your calorie counter cannot adjust for how dynamic your body is and constantly changing. So there's another study with only a 10% weight loss participants, and they were all mostly men, were actually burning 600 less calories a day than when they began the project. This is insane, but it is very, very telling for the fact that we need to continue to change things up and monitor what we're doing. Our exercise and nutrition needs to be as dynamic as our bodies. And in this case, these men, they weren't doing any resistance training. It was a low calorie diet, and that was it. But it is very telling about how dynamic our body is and what we need to do to keep up with that. So here are my 4 steps that we are going to use to overcome all of these obstacles and get us to our goals. All right, so step 1, we need to get started. So if you've already gotten started and you've maybe hit a plateau, and that's the reason that you're watching this video, just stick with me because we're gonna get there in just 1 second. But I need you to get started. How I need you to get started is by low impact, low intensity workouts every single day. I would love 7 days a week. 6 is fine if you wanna take that day off, but with low impact, low intensity, you don't have a lot of recovery time, but if you feel like you need it, please take it. So you can do walking, you can do cycling, do anything that you love. We want to build that habit. But what we want to do while we're building that habit is we want to get our insides all ready to be able to increase the intensity over the next few weeks while our bodies are adapting to our new diet and exercise program. So what we're going to do is we are going to strengthen our heart, which is going to increase our heart pump. We're going to get more blood moving through us. We are going to increase our lung capacity. So we're going to get more oxygen to our muscles that we're about to be using more. And our blood vessels are going to become more elastic. So we're going to lower our blood pressure. And this is going to put us in the perfect position to begin increasing intensity over the next few weeks when our bodies are adapting to our diet and exercise. All right, here we go. We're on to step 2. And step 2 is after we have already begun, we've got great workout habits, we've got great nutritional plan that we are sticking to, and we have probably seen that initial weight loss already happen. So it's either slowed down or we've hit that plateau, and that's what we're trying to figure out how to get past. So what I want you to do is either increase your duration or your difficulty of your cardio. Now, I will warn you against increasing that duration because that has the biggest effect on your NEAT, and we really want to keep that low. So if you're already working out at about 45 minutes a day, just keep it. I want you to increase the intensity or the difficulty at this point. And this is also when I want you to add in your resistance training. This is the key to permanent weight loss because muscle equals metabolism, and without resistance training, you will lose muscle mass, further decreasing your metabolic rate, and this is non-negotiable. It will happen. So we're going to increase the intensity, we're going to add that resistance training in, and then you know what we're going to do? We're going to continue to monitor our progress because once we've made these changes, we're going to monitor when they start to slow again for the weight loss, because you will see a bump in weight loss again, and then it's going to start to slow again because your body is readapting. So continue To add resistance to your resistance training, you always want to be lifting heavier or resisting more. But when it comes to the cardio, you can add some hills in. If you like to run or bike, you can add some sprints in. You can just do something that is actually a little bit harder than you were doing before. Anything that adds intensity to that cardio on top of adding a few days of resistance training in there. Anyway, because it is so important that we continue to change on the outside, because we cannot keep every variable the same on the outside while all of our inside variables are changing so rapidly, and be able to continue losing weight. All right, here we are, step 3, and this one is there are 3 things that we need to keep consistent. So step 3 is consistency, and the first one is your daily activity. Our bodies will overcompensate for a lot of exercise by making you feel less energetic later on in the day. So you need to make sure, if part of your normal routine is going for a walk or maybe doing laundry or whatever your evening routine is, you kind of keep it that way. Don't let your daily activities kind of settle down because we've amped up our exercise routines. And the second thing that we need to watch for consistency is making sure we go to our workouts, our cardio, our resistance training. We can't leave one out because we enjoy the other one more. They're both very important, and we need to be consistent with those workouts, even though we are ramping them up gradually as we go. And the third thing that we need to be consistent with is our nutrition. Whichever kind of nutrition plan you chose to help get you to your goals, whether it's keto, low carb, we love carb cycling here, we find it so successful, or just simply just counting your calories and eating healthy. Whatever you've decided to use to get to your goal, be consistent with it. Keep tracking your macros, keep counting your calories, keep doing whatever you're doing. It's very easy to kind of pull back in this area because we start to get in the hang of it and we don't measure and keep track as much as we did in the beginning. And so little things slip in, like, oh, it was just one of these, or you know what, at least I didn't do this, or at least I didn't go completely off the rails. No, when you're trying to get to your goals, you have to be consistent. And so those 3 areas, we need to have consistency, and that way we know when our weight loss begins to slow or it stops, that it actually is adaptation and not us kind of slipping backwards. All right, here we go, step 4, we did it. This is the best part because we are going to slide into our maintenance program, or our just hopefully normal life at this point. But my ending point isn't until a few months from now, because I have that race and there's several months away. So I'm still amping up my cardio, and you may be too if you haven't reached your goals yet. So I'm going to continue to ramp up my cardio, and it is going to be an unreasonable amount because of it's such a long race. So my NEAT levels will pretty much be absolutely tanked. Like, there's just gonna be nothing left of them. And oftentimes when we get to where we are reaching our goals, this is exactly what has happened, not just because there is a big race coming up for me, but we do this a lot because we go so hard and we adapt all these new things, and so our NEAT levels drop, and I mean they tank, and then we get to where we want to be and we just cut everything off, and now we gain all this weight back because we're not burning any calories doing our normal daily activities. So here's what we need to do. We need to slowly pull back on the cardio, keeping the resistance training. That is so important, because keeping that muscle mass is going to be a big player in whether your NEAT levels can drop and recover or not. So keep doing the resistance training, but slowly pull back on the cardio. And as far as the diet goes, you're going to want to slowly begin to increase the amount of calories that you consume every day while you're following the principles of the plan that you chose to get you to your goals. So whether you're doing like keto or carb cycling, which we love, and how it would look for carb cycling is we'd stick to the principles of carb cycling. So 2 to 3 days a week, we would have lower fat, higher carbs, and the rest of the days we have higher fat, lower carbs, and we're gonna obviously continue to not mix our carbs and fats together. So we're gonna follow those basic principles, but we're gonna gradually increase the amount of calories. So what we wanna do is we're gonna be here and here, we just wanna bring it all the way to the middle, and that way we should have a lifestyle and met our goals, and we should be able to keep them. That is the perfect way to hit that maintenance plan and not go back and forth. We don't want the yo-yo, and we want to be able to just keep it where it is. So I do have a fantastic plan for you. It is called our Over 40 Ab Solution. It is so successful, and it will give you a nutrition plan. It will give you your exercise routines in there. So it's everything all in one. easy enough, and it's so successful. I love hearing the testimonials on this one. Anyway, but also over here I have a video for you, is how to lose visceral fat. It is not as hard as you think, because a lot of times we get worried about that deep down visceral fat because it is the dangerous kind of fat. So go ahead and check this one out and give me a like if you have a second. Thanks so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.